Married people of Reddit, what was something you found on your spouse's phone that made you think they were cheating, but turned out to be completely innocent? Hi guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I once suspected my GF was cheating and I looked at her phone bill, horrible idea, and became suspicious at a number she texted hundreds of times in the middle of the night. It was my number I had recently changed. Idiot. I was the one accused actually. We both grew up super lower income, and when we first started dating we went to a huge birthday party and started talking about how we never had a big party like this growing up. So when her first birthday of our relationship came around I snuck around for a week. I came off super shady, I guess, throwing her a huge surprise party. I saved like 3 weeks of pay from a poopy delivery driver job. I was careful to never text anyone with the word party, so I texted a mutual friend who worked at a really nice bakery who was sneaking me an expensive cake for half price. Girlfriend, is heading to work, can I come now? She replied, yeah, my boss is gone for a bit so make it quick. My girlfriend came to break up with me and walked into a surprise party. Still together 6 years later. Not married but been together 8 years. Recently her phone started going off at weird times at night and she'd always shuffle about to answer it. Seemed suspicious cause I've seen her sleep through phone calls from hospitals, parents and anyone else. Nothing used to get her moving if she didn't want to be. After a week or two it started vibrating and she actually didn't wake up for once. I couldn't help myself and had a peek. She had started playing Simpsons, tapped out again on her phone. All the vibrations were her characters coming back from missions and whatnot. Turned out she wasn't keeping secrets or hiding anything, she just wanted to get the missions done without spending money on speeding the game up. My wife started acting really sneaky for some weeks, having sudden go-outs with her friends, having some private spending and asking for money, getting home from work really late. The last straw was that suddenly she blocked her phone. We had our phones unlocked or we knew each other passwords. We were really respectful of our privacy. But she began responding messages on the night, taking phone calls outside the house and that kind of stuff. The very day that I was going to ask her what was happening she threw me a surprise birthday party like 10 days before my actual birthday, because on those days she booked a vacation to the beach, secretly negotiated vacation days with my boss, and got a granny to take care of the kids. All under my nose. I was looking at something on Reddit with my girlfriend on her phone, and suddenly this app notification pops up with "You've matched with Tom." Or something. We've been together for years, so I've not seen Tinder, but I've heard of it. For about 3 seconds I was silently furious. So I tapped the notification, and it brought up Pinterest. Turns out Pinterest matches you with people with similar interests or something. I think that's the quickest I've gone through such a range of intense emotions. My wife found a contact in my phone for Ashley Madison literally the week after the fracking scandal. She's the wife of the new assistant pastor at our church that my wife hadn't met yet. I was texting her because I was going to meet the moving truck at their house for them when they moved in. Wife texted "I love you John" to me. My name is not John. So I just stared at my phone in disbelief until I realized that H, N, and J are all next to each other on a keyboard. It was all just a typo. She actually tried texting "I love you Han," but she misspelled Han, which was auto-corrected to John, and she didn't catch it before hitting send. Or after hitting send for that matter. My wife and I had a good laugh when I pointed it out that evening. When we were dating I found this guy flirting with her hard. She showed me the messages to prove that they were just friends and he wasn't trying to do anything. So that's when I found out she has Asperger's syndrome. She's not so good at reading people or their intentions. She's also never had a brother and grew up with her mom, so I think she has an even worse time understanding guys. She's oblivious but she's honest, and honestly I love that about her. Walked in on my neighbor balls deep inside my wife. Turns out my neighbor ran out of hot water, and wanted to use our shower. He ended up slipping and hitting his head in the shower and it rung his bell pretty hard. He had forgotten that he was not in his own house and went to the bedroom to have romance with who he thought was his wife. My wife, who at the time just made tea, went to squeeze lemon into her tea and some lemon juice squirted in her eye. The stinging of the lemon juice made it hard for her to open her eyes. When my neighbor, in his concussed state, went to have romance with my wife, thinking it was his wife, she thought it was me because her eyes were closed from the lemon juice. I was utterly furious at first, but after she explained we all had a good laugh. I found a picture of her stroking my friend's noodle. It turns out she was just helping him check for ticks after hiking. Did I find my iPhone on my wife because she was very late coming home. She was on the other side of town where we knew no one. Thoughts in my head of cheating. What the hell is she doing over there? She finally came home, so I confronted her. She had a startled look on her face which was guilty as poop. Turns out she was getting a Botox treatment and didn't want me to know. Ouch. Spent a lot of time in a relationship with a chronic cheater. I'm now in a relationship with someone who is actually a respectable human being. When we first started dating, I couldn't let old habits die and I went through his text messages. Found one going on and on about how beautiful someone named Charlotte was. I was peacefully deleted inside. Turns out it was his friend's newborn baby. Lesson learned, I'm in butthole, he is not. I'm sure my ex thought she found something when I got a notification that asked, is it hard? It was a classmate asking about the math homework. Nothing got us heated more than talking about sines and cosines. Not on his phone, so this story may not fit the question. But I was once laying my head on my so's lap as he sat on the couch and I was stretched out next to him. He was watching TV and I was scrolling through Facebook. A friend of mine had posted a picture from the perspective of her own eyes, as she laid bikini-clad on a beach chair. I stopped scrolling to look at the picture, and after a second or so my so says in an incredibly lustful tone, God, I could really tear into that right now. Boy, I saw his life flash before my eyes. I shouted, what the duck? What's wrong with you? He seemed shocked and defensive. After a few moments of confusion on both ends, he pointed to the TV. There was a Hardee's commercial on, with sexy close-up shots of a double bacon cheeseburger. He had been lusting after the burger. I was at a bar with my friend, when this girl walked up and asked to use my phone to text her boyfriend. Hers was dead and she wanted him to meet her in front of the bar. Her text read, hey babe, meet me in front of Odie's. Nothing about who she was or her phone being dead. That was a tough one to explain. My husband and I traveling separately to meet in a shopping mall. We both thought we were talking about the same place when we said we would meet at the food court, but there are two food courts and we were in different ones. I texted him Marco. From his point of view I was 20 minutes late to meet him at the mall and suddenly mysteriously texting men he doesn't know. Apparently they don't play Marco Polo in Australia. Got in the shower and saw a man's disposable razor on the soap tray. Not my brand. Confronted her and she told me she had pulled it from our travel bag and used it to shave her legs as her razor was dull.